one of her quotes that John and I just loved when she told us that she appreciates playing and it makes her feel like an athlete again. It lifts her spirits. And it meant a lot for her to say that. Just something little like that has a big impact on what we do. So Mary is very active with us. Yes, sorry. So we've also partnered with Special Olympics. And really neat was the state of South Carolina Special Olympics asked APB to go throughout the state teaching adaptive pickleball throughout the entire state. So we've gone to Clemson, Rock Hill, Charleston, Columbia. We've gone to several places throughout the state, you know, exposing pickleball and making sure that the coaches are trained. And we take them through a coaching program. And then after that, the athletes come in and we do a program for the athletes. Then we actually started with our own Area 4. We just concluded our first Special Olympics team training and they competed for their medals at the Greenville Smash. So that was absolutely fantastic to be able to have our own Greenville team. They made history. We call them the Hot Shots. And they made history being the very first pickleball team, which is kind of fun because 23 years ago, I did start the very first golf Special Olympics team. And now here I am starting the very first pickleball team. So that was kind of neat for me to be able to be part of that. So let's see what's next.
Got the video.
Got the video. Wait till y'all see this. This is a great segment from Columbia.
April is National Pickleball Month, so what better way to celebrate than to play the game? One South Carolina nonprofit is working with the Special Olympics and a local university to promote the sport. ABC Columbia's Alex Tejada has the story.
Special Olympics South Carolina has adaptive pickleball going throughout the state, introducing pickleball to their Special Olympic community, so that we are going to grow this into a Special Olympic sport and take it as far as they'll let us take it.
Sandy Halkett, the member of Adaptive Pickleball, has played the sport for several years. She also has worked for decades with Special Olympic athletes playing golf.
So what I did was I took what we've developed in golf for Special Olympics and I catered it to pickleball. And that's how adaptive pickleball came into being.
One of the fastest growing sports in the country.
The learning curve is very fast. And so I think Special Olympic athletes are going to love this because they have immediate success on the court. We had fun, we had some music. You can play with anybody.
National University forecasted hosted the event on campus at the Moore Fitness Center.
Just trying to find ways that our students here in the sport management major can get involved with Special Olympics because what they do is so awesome and just brings so much joy to everybody.
I want to do more for it as well.
Adaptive Pickleball plans to do more partnerships with Special Olympics South Carolina in the future.
If you'd like for us to come and start a Special Olympic program in your area within the state of South Carolina, that's what we're here to do. Columbia is our first stop.
Clemson and Rock Hill are the next two stops as Adaptive Pickleball continues to grow the sport. Reporting at Columbia International University, Alex Tejada, ABC Columbia News.
That's pretty cool. So yes, we find that playing the game of pickleball may look different depending on somebody's diverse abilities. And we love that word, diverse abilities. We kind of borrowed it from Recess. If y'all know the YMCA, they use it, and we fell in love with that word. And you know, for Special Olympic athletes, physical fitness, they make new friends. They get the thrill to compete. We all love competition. And so if you see the game of pickleball and you may think, well, I don't know, you know, if my maybe special needs participant may not be able to do it, we start real simple. Maybe it's balloons over a net. Maybe we turn that balloon into a beach ball, and then maybe we do some paddle taps. So don't be intimidated by the big game. We break it down and to make it manageable for them and any level of success that they may have. That's what we're trying to accomplish, is for them to have success, whatever that looks like for them. And we've got some fantastic coaches that help with anybody with any type of disability. So a play day, what is a play day for us? We host free pickleball play days, for adaptive players, and we don't separate really. It's a big community. If you come out to a play day, you're gonna see some folks maybe on court 1 that are in sports wheelchairs. On court 2, you may see a combination of standing, some in chairs. Court 3, you might see all standing, but maybe more have a cognitive disability. And then sometimes we'll have our veterans there with us. So it's a huge community all coming together, which is fantastic to see, because I know a lot of programs, they separate everybody. And right now, we're just one big community all together, and they last about 2 hours, and we play pickleball, whatever that may look like for each individual. So the first year we did 12, and we were like, whoo, we did 12. And so far this year, 56 is what we're gonna end up doing. So, wow, yes. And you can see how many chairs even in this picture that we use. 56 is what we're scheduled to finish up this year with. So that's a big growth curve for us. And honestly, if you know anything about pickleball, the gentleman in the video said it's one of the fastest growing sports in the world right now. And we're seeing that just within adaptive pickleball, that people are signing up and wanting to participate. So we serve a lot of communities. This was one of our first ones with Roger CP. You can see the therapists are there. It's very important that we have the therapist, and we've even got therapists with us with APB when we do them solo, so that we make sure that we're transferring somebody in and out of a wheelchair properly, and that we're aware of their needs and their limitations. So this would be one of our indoor play days with Roger CPs. And here's the hot shots. Yeah, so here are our hot shot team. Y'all see some familiar faces? So with help of Carly and Area 4, we have our first pickleball team right here for Special Olympics, and they competed for medals at the Greenville Smash, which was a huge opportunity. The Smash had almost 500 players, and they gave us 2 days before their tournament kicked in for adaptive pickleball. The first 2 days of the Smash were for us. So that was fantastic. So there's our hot shots. And that's at the pavilion, another indoor, the air conditioned, which was really great. And then our veteran community. So we've got some veterans. That's outside at Tryon. That's actually on dedicated pickleball courts right there. So you just saw a bunch of different facilities and different places that we try to host them. And so our veterans, we are trying to wrap our arms around the veterans and give them some love and let them know that they have a safe place to come and socialize and be together. And that's whether they have a disability or not. We want to embrace them and their family members to get them to come out and have community with each other. So we love having our veterans part of this program.
Yeah. So we've talked a lot about pickleball. I'm a little funny. I have a stutter. It is my accent. We talk a lot about pickleball, but some people probably say, okay, great, you dance around it, but what is pickleball? So I'm here to kind of help us better understand what pickleball is. So to first better understand it, we need to go back in time. We need to go to 1965, the summer. 1965 is when pickleball was created. Created on Bainbridge Island, just outside of Seattle. The only way to get to Bainbridge is using a ferry ride. Getting the ferry ride. So one summer, a couple of families had some dreadfully bored kids. Why? They're stuck on an island. All their friends are in Seattle. So what can these kids, or what can these families do to entertain these kids, but not just the kids, the entire family? One of the families had a badminton court in the backyard. Okay, great. So what they ended up doing was, they said, okay, we have a badminton court here. Let's make up a game. Let's take the badminton net, lower it down. Okay, great. They got a court, got a net. Now they said, oh, we need to find a paddle of some sort. So what they probably did was they looked around and found probably kind of a wooden type of a beach paddle. Awesome. Court, net, paddle. What's left? A ball. A ball is left. So they had all the components to create a game. What they did was they created a game so that the entire family could play, grandparents to grandkids. There's some quirky rules that we will show you soon that helps to level the playing field so that the old can play with the young, so that the kind of not so nimble can play with the nimble. Now let's go to pickleball. A weird name, right? It's good and bad. There's a certain stigma attached to the name pickleball because it sounds like a childhood game. It sounds like a game you might come home from school and say, "Hey, Mom, Dad, I had so much fun today. We played high-stakes pickleball." So pickleball doesn't have the same sort of cachet as, let's say, tennis. Because tennis, man, that sounds something, you know? Or spike ball. Spike ball is an awesome name. It's just energetic with that. But pickleball. There were two stories how pickleball got its name. One is true, one is lore. The true story, Google it because it's boring. It's about pickleball. Don't do it. But there's a fun story that goes here. So the family created the game, had a dog. The court was in the backyard, right? And anytime the ball would roll in the bushes, pick it up, 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 pick it up. No, we get the ball first. Did you get the ball first, or would the dog get the ball first? The dog would get the ball first. So guess what? If they wanted to continue playing the game, they had to try the ball out of the dog's mouth. Why ball still the slobber? The dog's name was Pickles. The ball became Pickles ball, and the game that we call today is called pickleball, thanks to a dog. Yeah, weird, huh? Cool. All right, so let's get in here. Pickleball. What is it? Well, one of our athletes summed it up brilliantly. It's like tennis, but it's not tennis. Let's say this. If tennis and table tennis had a baby, it's pickleball. So it's a combination of those two. The strokes in pickleball are not as big as the strokes in tennis. We have a pickleball, that's a plastic ball. A tennis ball isn't plastic, got some buzz to it. It's pressurized. It bounces. This pickleball does not bounce. Even on carpet, it does not really bounce. A tennis ball does. A tennis ball takes a bounce, it comes to you. A pickleball takes a bounce, you must step to this ball. It's not coming to you. Besides stepping to it, guess what you're also going to do? Bend your knees, because it doesn't bounce that well. For adaptive players, they get two bounces. That sounds great, right? But take a look at this. Take a look at this second bounce. See how low it is. It's tough. It really is tough. All right, so we danced around enough about this, but what is pickleball? So let's get you to better understand some of the gameplay of the fastest growing sport in America.
Pickleball is played on a rectangular 44-foot by 20-foot court. The court is divided into two sides by a low net. There are two sidelines, two baselines, a center line on each side, as well as two non-volley lines, which create two non-volley zones that are affectionately called the kitchen. The center line divides each side into two service courts, the left service court and the right service court. Every point begins with a serve. A pickleball serve must be hit underhand from behind the baseline, cross court into the opposing team's service court. The serve must clear the net and not land in the kitchen. An important rule in pickleball is the double bounce rule. The double bounce rule says the ball must bounce once on each side before either team may start volleying the ball in the air. Here is an example of the serve and bounce rule. When Team A serves to Team B, they must let the ball bounce once before returning the serve. Team A must also let the ball bounce once on their side. After the ball is bounced on both sides, either team may volley the ball into the air or let the ball bounce once before striking it. The rally will continue until one of the teams either hits the ball in the net, out of bounds, or lets the ball bounce on their side twice. A unique but important aspect of pickleball is the non-volley zone or kitchen. Players may not hit the ball while standing in the kitchen unless the ball has already bounced on their side. Pickleball is a fun and exciting sport.
Okay, I get you a better idea about this game. So like Brady said, it's like tennis, but it's not. A couple of things, a couple of key things here that change that up for why it's not like tennis. One, you saw, you have the serve is going to be underhand. It's not going to be overhand. Reason is, basically, a serve in pickleball starts a point. There were some rules on that though that are kind of interesting. And the rule is the fact that the ball and paddle contact that you make is below your waist. So you're gonna go low high, as opposed to tennis serve where you go high low. Okay, you don't expect to ace your opponents on a serve. You expect to basically start a point. So the serve is different. It's diagonal, same as in tennis. Return of serve is also interesting because of that 2 bounce rule. So the serve has to bounce, the return of serve has to bounce. After that, basically anything goes. But that 2 bounce rule changes it to make it not like tennis. We teach so many people who come from tennis and they automatically step into the court for that second bounce. And the ball hits them right on their feet. So they have to kind of learn. But the part of the game that's really different than tennis is what they call the kitchen, non-volley zone. Suppose the net is right here, okay? Suppose this is the net. 7 feet from back here, there was a line right here. I cannot volley the ball out of the air with any part of my body inside here. You're going, why did they do that? Here's why. 15-year-old me would have stood right here all game long, right at the net, taking every ball we can. Meanwhile, people wouldn't like playing with Skinny Johnny because I was dominating out there. So guess what? They go upstairs, they don't play. We want everyone to play this game. That's what they want. So you push it back 7 feet, it's a game changer. It really truly is. So those are some of the interesting things that help to make pickleball a little different than tennis. The other thing that makes us a little different too is equipment. So you can see. So you have a paddle, not a racket. Pickleball diehard, you're going to give you a hard time. You call it a racket. It's a paddle. Whatever. So a paddle, which is going to be about the size, let's say, a cross between a table tennis paddle plus a racquetball. Right. Somewhere in between. They can come in all shapes and sizes. They even have a paddle that is more ergonomically correct, which is kind of a pistol grip for some folks. What we found, some of our wheelchair players really enjoy this paddle. They find it a little bit easier to hold, easier to swing because of the wheels. So that's pretty interesting, I think. Okay, paddles are going to be, they're getting more expensive because as this game gets more popular, more companies are putting product out. But go back to tennis, back in the 80s, there was a technology revolution within the rackets. Everything got high tech. Now, all these paddles are getting high tech. The tennis game changed back in the 80s. It was a little slower than what we see today. Pickleball, because these paddles are getting really, really high tech, the game is speeding up, which also helps to demystify some of the stigma of saying pickleball is only for old people because you don't have to move and the game is slow. Pickleball can be as fast or as slow as you want to make it. It just depends how hard you care to play. So a paddle is going to cost you, it could be $50. You can go to Amazon and buy some really cheap paddles. But you might have a cheap playing experience. So you can pay the $50, you can pay the $220 for a really expensive paddle. But right now, basically about $100 is plenty good enough for a pickleball paddle. Now the ball is different. I'm gonna so the ball that we have here is a plastic ball. It has holes. So what's interesting about that is you can hit the ball really hard, but because it has holes, it's going to slow down somewhat. It's almost like playing tennis on a clay court, where the ball takes a bounce and slows down. So it's a little bit easier. Also, there is an outdoor ball and there is an indoor ball. The outdoor ball is a little harder than the indoor one. Because outdoors, you're playing on a tennis court. But really indoors, you're basically playing on a gym floor. So it's a little different that way. And finally, you have a net. And the net is actually about 2 inches lower than a tennis net is. What is interesting is you can play pickleball on a tennis court. It's almost the same size as the quick start tennis lines. A little smaller. What you're finding out more and more tennis clubs, tennis places, HOOAs are painting blended pickleball lines on the tennis courts. Because tennis is still popular, yes, but pickleball is trendy. And what happens with things that are trendy? They get talked about more, and you start to see many more people playing tennis, or I mean, not tennis, many more people playing pickleball than you see tennis at public parks. Cool. So we've got to dance around a lot of stuff here. Cool. So you're gonna first see we're gonna just hit this ball. Notice the sound, or hear that sound. It's a different sound than you get from tennis, right? Because these paddles do not have strings. These paddles are made of kind of plastic, sort of, honeycomb inside. The outside of here can be all carbon fiber, it could be graphite, it could be fiber glass, something like that. But you can see here that sound is different. And some people get annoyed by that sound, but some people find this cacophonous sound actually enjoyable. So, yeah. So what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna hit the ball somewhere here, so you can start to see. Notice our strokes are compact. They're not having a swing, right? Fine, we let them bounce. Getting we have that here. Oh, sorry, coach. Here we go. So now we're gonna have the ball take a bounce. And we're gonna pretend we're at that non-volley zone right here. So notice this. Notice it's kind of a slow game right here. We're gonna slow it down, but at some point in time, we can start to speed it up and we get a high ball. And we get back. Oh, let's slow it down. Slow it down now. Bam. So you can kind of see that. I want 3 volunteers to come up. I don't know who the volunteers are going to be. I'm looking at 3 people right here. So
Somebody from this table right here.
somebody from this table, somebody from this table, somebody from that table.
Get up here.
All right, we're gonna get a paddle, we're gonna paddle. Somebody from this table. All right. Okay, I'm gonna give you a ball. I'm gonna give you a ball. And I'm gonna give you a ball. They're gonna have a challenge right now. I want you to do a paddle tap. When I say paddle tap, I want you to, one person here, one person here, one person here, look out. I want you to tap the paddle of the ball just like that. But when I say go, but right now, not yet. I want you to know that you have a goal to get. And your goal is to beat what Spencer did last week. He's one of our hot shots. Guess how many paddle taps in a row Spencer recorded? How many? What do you think?
I know. 200.
Higher. 300. Higher. 500. But what was so great about this is he started playing pickleball about a year ago. And he's going home and he's practicing. Notice the hand-eye coordination that this takes. One thing that he did very well is he's not bouncing around and going like this. He's standing right here, hand-eye coordination, doing just like that. But 500 taps. So guess what? You all have a goal to get. I want to see 500 paddle taps. Beat Spencer. Are you ready? Go. Me on this right here is the Pickleball Survivor Immunity Challenge. You're out. Oh, you're out. Okay, just keep going. Minus kind of easy to do. Okay, let's take it up. Go back. So if you have any coordination, you can do this. There's 500. Yeah. So again, what you're seeing here is this game is something that is easy to learn, hard to master. We have found that people that don't believe this, and wait, I'm trying to play this sport, I'm trying to play that sport, or I'm not athletic at all. You get them on the court, and guess what they find? Quickly, success, quick win. And whenever you get a quick win, what do you want more of? That dopamine shot. You want more of those quick wins. So that's one of the reasons why this game has become so addictive. is you find success early and you continue to find success. And when you do that, you come back for more and more and more.
So we have big dreams for APB. Today's dream, to increase the number of pickleball play days. So I don't know, we went 12 to 56. So I don't know what the future holds, but it could be double that. So look out. More play days, more venues, more opportunities, as we grow. We want to definitely keep growing the Special Olympics, South Carolina involvement. Can have more teams to compete against, in the near future, and continue that voyage with Special Olympics. We want to impact more veterans too. Really feel like that program has huge potential to get really big. And I even see having like a little competition with all the different branches, Navy versus Army versus the Marines and Air Force. You get them out there and have some fun competition with them and let them kind of show off their skills and just have a community for them to come to together. But tomorrow's dream, we want our own facility. We borrow, we ask a lot, what's your availability at this facility, at that facility? You know, they've got their events and they've got their things going on. So we're limited when and where we can do things. So I think it would be fantastic and not out of the question at all to dream about having our own facility where we can host these whenever we want to. And also I would love a facility that we employ our own participants. And we give them a job and we give them a place to come and work and they have ownership as a player, as an employee, and their team APB through and through. Ways you can get involved. Please talk about us, talk about what we do, and come out and attend a play day. If you just want to watch, if you want to volunteer, if you just want to see what it's all about, please come out to one and volunteer with us. Also donate to keep this going for us. Visit our website for more information. And we just, I think that's it. No, that's not it. We are having a way to donate back to that giving. We're having an auction. We got some really neat things on our auction. It's a live auction, some golf lessons from you know who.
And what we also have on there, a couple of beautiful handcrafted pins from Michael back there. So real quick story about him. So Michael has been coming to Adaptive Pickleball since day one.
Yep.
And what's really cool about it is he told me, he said that I was never this involved with athletics before my injury than I am now. And it's really, really cool to find that he's found a space, not just to be athletic, but to be social, to make friends. And part of his story too is before his injury, he made furniture. Harder to do that now. So he takes those skills, he made furniture and makes these handcrafted wood pins that we have up for auction on there. Michael, thank you for contributing.
Thank you. And so please visit the auction. You may find some neat things on there. And just connect with us. Thank y'all for having us. Thank you, Laura and Chris, for hosting this and giving us a place to speak. This is the first one we've ever done like this. So hope you enjoyed it and had some fun. And if it made you smile and you want to come out and try it, we'd love to have you. That's Gary Cooper. He was also on my first golf team 23 years ago, and he's on our first pickleball team. So that's
What are you doing 40 years from now? What it's for?
It's a new sport in it. I might try it. I played every sport under the sun growing up, so this is just a natural fit for me and wanting to help others. So again, thank y'all for your time. If you have any questions, we'll be around. Thank you.
Thank you.